Oh, shit.
All right, love. Love, what's up? Love, what's up?
I just got pulled and dragged. And I'm not happy with that. My life wouldn't work. I just got pulled in.
Oh, the camera's still rolling. The camera's still rolling. Guys, the camera's still rolling. I hope you've got everything on camera. Oh, what happened then?
That scared the life out of me. Are you okay?
You alright?
No, I am pretty much not alright.
Guys,
And I don't like it.
The female member of the ghost hunting crew, Felicity, says that something pulled her into a room and drug her across the dirty floor.
Which
What the The team hears more noises in the house and heads downstairs to investigate.
If there's somebody there, show yourself. We know you like to bully women. Bully one of us. Bully one of the men. Come on. Oh, I'm all tangled.
Come on, bro, carry on, carry on, carry on, stop. Wow.
Whoa. It's like something was in that room.
No. Just stand down.
And after that, they decide that they've seen enough and make a quick exit. You can check out the team's full investigation over on the channel Moxley's Crazy Adventures. The Thing in the Cabinet. In Mexico, a father goes into the kitchen to find his daughter, little Maria Jose, climbing around inside a kitchen cabinet, and she can't seem to find her way out. He pulls out his phone and starts filming the comical scene to show his family later. But he catches something very unexpected.
¿Qué estás haciendo? ¿Eh? ¿Qué estás haciendo? María José, te estoy hablando. Hey. Tote.
When the father reviews his footage later, he notices that a tiny, pale little hand seems to quickly reach out of the darkness, as if grabbing for his daughter's arm. So, is this a ghost caught on camera, or just some decent effects work? Let me know what you think. The Boy in the Basement. On the YouTube channel The Haunted Side, paranormal investigator Patrick and his cameraman Jason are investigating the infamous Truckee River house near Reno, Nevada. It is said that back in the 1940s, a family of 5 lost their lives in the house under brutal circumstances. All of them were the victims of a deranged drifter who broke into the house in the middle of the night. The Haunted Side team experiences equipment problems throughout their investigation, and some of these technical glitches are just downright creepy.
It was going up.
There it goes again. My camera just shut off. Where are you now? Patrick. Patrick! Patrick! Where are you?
I'm over here.
Dude, one of our night vision cameras has dropped.
It looks as if something just pushes the night vision camera over. Here's the view from the camera that was pushed.
Patrick. Patrick!
At some point, they begin to hear strange noises coming from the house's basement.
Did you hear that?
No.
I heard like a young sounding, like almost cry. Like, ah, but like young. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? We keep hearing what sounds like a little boy crying or like some kind of whimpering sound down in that second basement.
The guys head down to investigate.
Please tell us something. Was that you?
No, sir, I haven't moved.
Please tell us something.
While in the basement, they hear some odd, unexplained sounds. But now, this is where the investigation truly goes off the rails. If you think the Haunted Side team was experiencing strange things while in the basement, just look at what they caught on camera while walking around outside the house.
What we didn't realize is that we were about to capture something super creepy, and keep in mind it's only Jason and myself there. If you look closely, it appears that a hand is sticking out of the basement window, and as soon as we turn the corner, it quickly retreats back inside.
Something that looks like a child's arm seems to be reaching out of the basement window. The Haunted Side team says that they didn't even notice this chilling sight until they watched their video footage back later. You can watch the entire investigation of the Truckee River house over on their channel, The Haunted Side Paranormal Investigations. Inside Out. Twitter user iPanzu says that his house is haunted. He claims that one night his motion-activated security cameras caught some absolutely chilling events. Someone seems to walk up and crouch down near the gate outside his home, and then simply vanish. But only seconds later, now inside his house, something even stranger occurs. The semi-transparent figure of a little boy runs by and seems to crouch down as if to pick up something. And then a chair flies violently across the room. iPansu has not reported any other paranormal activity after this single set of strange events. So is this a random haunting, or is it all just an elaborate hoax? You decide. The Cursed Land. In this video, we're going to check back in with Saudi ghost hunter Adventure Allah. This video was compiled from 2 separate videos of Allah checking out an abandoned neighborhood of supposedly haunted houses. Locals refer to the area in the video as, quote, the Cursed Land. First off, Allah sees something bizarre at one of the abandoned houses and goes to investigate.
Bismillah. بسم الله. الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم. بسم الله الذي لا يضر مع اسمه شيء في الأرض ولا في السماء وهو السميع العليم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
But when Allah tracks down the window that was opening and shutting on its own, he probably wishes he hadn't found it.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله بسم الله بسم الله بسم الله بسم الله.
As Allah enters another house, we see a heavy water tank on the floor, which he tries to move, but it won't budge.
أنا في ناس على ورابه. بسم الله. بسم الله الذي لا يضر مع اسمه شيء في الأرض ولا في السماء وهو السميع العليم. الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه.
But later on, as Allah heads back to the room, the water tank seems much more mobile.
بسم الله بسم الله بسم الله بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق من شر ما خلق من شر ما خلق. بسم الله بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض. أوف أوف. بسم الله. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر. أوف.
Eventually, Allah has had enough and decides to just get out of there.
أنا مضطر إني أنسحب يا أخوان من المغامرة لأنه والله العظيم جاتني طاقة سلبية قوية. أوه. اسمعوا بسم الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قلت إني أنسحب يا أخوان. خلاص خلاص خلاص.
And by the way, on a lighter note, it's not always easy being a Saudi door-kicking ghost hunter, especially when you Bismillah kick the shoe right off your foot.
بداية المغامرة يا أخوان. بسم الله بسم الله.
Thanks for watching. If you would like to suggest a video, email me at nukestop5@gmail.com. And my Twitter @nukestop5 is not an elaborate hoax. So please give me a follow there. See you next week.